Hey everybody, my name is Abe Brown, the founder of Momentum Coaching and the president of the Certified Coaches Federation. I'm also a coach with the Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise Wealth Creation Coaching Program. And I want to spend a moment talking with you today about the topic of healthy relationships. Now, one time one of my clients said to me, you know, Abe, the only thing that's worse than being alone is being in a relationship. And I thought that was kind of funny because really it spoke to the fact that many of us, we don't want to be alone, but of course we also have struggles when it comes to the area of healthy relationships. And so when I talk about relationships here, I'm not just, of course, just talking about dating or romantic relationships. What I want to key in on is how it is we can have a healthy relationship either with a partner, a spouse, a person that we're dating, or even in the professional context. You know, relationships really are the stuff of life. You know, Teddy Roosevelt many years ago said that the key ingredient or the secret ingredient to success is learning how to get along with people. And I've seen more people who had talent, they had education, they had expertise, and yet because they struggle in the area of relationships, they kind of put a cap on their level of success. And so let me give you 4 very simple keys for cultivating healthy relationships. The first is be secure. Now, security is an interesting concept. When we talk about being secure, what we're really describing is how important it is that we are comfortable or have a healthy relationship with ourselves. In other words, if I'm going to have a healthy relationship with you, I first need to figure out how to have a healthy relationship with me. When I have a healthy relationship with myself, when I'm at peace, when I'm content, when I'm not striving, you know, all of a sudden now I'm at peace and I'm able to be content and not strive with others. You know, Jesus many years ago said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I have often found in working with people that there's a parallel. How I love myself really has a determination with respect to how I love other people. When I love myself, when I care for myself, when I'm involved in healthy practices of self-care, what happens is I'm not comparing myself with others. I'm not constantly needing their approval. I'm not constantly running on this treadmill trying to get everybody to like me because I already love who and what I am. Therefore, I'm free to love others. And so the first key to healthy relationships is to kind of be secure, to love yourself. The second key to healthy relationships is to be appreciative. Now, we live in a generation today where many people kind of feel entitled. And I don't want to do this large-scale social commentary, but you know, a lot of folks kind of believe that the world owes them something and that everybody around them owes them something. And I got to tell you something about entitled people. They're not very attractive, you know. Entitled people are not the kind of people that we want to relate to, that we want to connect with. The opposite of entitlement is gratitude, appreciation, living in this sense of awe and wonder for all that you have and all that you are and all that you get to experience. And so, you know, I've discovered in my life that when I'm appreciative in my relationships, what happens is the dynamic changes. Rather than me always pointing out what they're not doing, all the things that I want them to do for me, when I walk into that relationship with appreciation, with gratitude, I'm celebrating, I'm validating all of the good things that they're bringing into my life. What do you think is the result of that? Well, of course, you know what it is. The result of that is people want to give you more. But when you walk into a relationship always complaining and pointing out all the things that somebody's not doing for you, I can promise you one thing, they're not going to want to give you anything else, you know? And so being appreciative is a critical key in developing healthy relationships. The third thing is to be affectionate. Now, we live kind of in a funny society today, don't we? And it's a society where we're more connected than ever through social media. I mean, we'll go into a chat room and talk with somebody halfway around the planet that we've never physically met, and yet when somebody is physically there, we have this real difficult time connecting with them. You know, it's almost as though, you know, kind of the internet, as wonderful as it is, has made our connections deeper on some levels and yet more shallow on others. And so, you know, kind of what I want to say about healthy relationships here is how important it is that we become affectionate with the people that we're physically around, you know. Now, affection looks like different things for different people. I'm sure not saying run out and hug everybody that you talk to, but when I talk about affection, I'm talking about giving people a firm handshake, looking people in the eye, making eye contact, being that kind of person who speaks kind words, compassionate words, tender words, affectionate words into people's lives. I can promise you this, that the greatest way to get a friend is to be a friend, to be affectionate, to show care, to show compassion, to show kindness. And so that's the third key to developing healthy relationships. The fourth key that I want to share with you here today is to be silent or to be quiet. Now, that sounds kind of silly maybe. How do I be in healthy relationships if I'm quiet? I certainly don't mean, be a mat that somebody could walk over. I don't mean that at all. What I'm talking about here when I say to be quiet or to be a person who's silent is to develop the capacity to listen deeply to what it is that people are trying to say. I can tell you this, that there's nothing more frustrating than trying to communicate something and have somebody not listen. On the other hand, there's nothing more validating and almost nourishing to our soul than having somebody deeply and empathetically hear us. I tell you, when we're heard, we get empowered, we get validated. And so many times in our relationships, when somebody starts to share their struggle, they start to share what they're going through, we want to jump in there, give them the answer, give them the solution, offer them something that worked for us. And I'm not saying that there's not a place for that, absolutely. But before you give the gift of your advice, I encourage you to give the gift of your ears, Yeah, I'm sure y'all know the saying that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we could listen kind of twice as much as we speak. And when you have this attitude of stillness and quiet, when somebody comes into your presence and you want to hear, you want to draw out what they have to say, I'll tell you what that does. That makes you very, very attractive because people kind of want to be around somebody who wants to hear them. And so, I've shared all these principles with you about healthy relationships because my hope is that all of us can learn to develop healthy relationships. We sure don't want to be held back in our lives, in our career, in the pursuit of our passions and our dreams because we haven't yet figured out how to have healthy relationships. And so let me just give you a quick review. Number 1, be secure. Number 2, be affectionate. Number 3, be appreciative. Number 4, be quiet. Have the capacity to listen and to hear people. Now, one of the greatest things that I've been involved with here in the last 12 months is something called the Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise Wealth Creation Coaching Program. The Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise Wealth Creation Coaching Program is not just for coaches, but it's also for you and me. And it really gives us the opportunity to connect and to be a part of a community where we can have ongoing learning, ongoing training, and ongoing kind of nourishment for our own soul. Not only do we have all those things, but we also have an opportunity through the Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise Wealth Creation Program to develop deep and authentic, holistic relationships that will help us get to the next level. And so if you're curious about that, if you kind of think, man, I'd like to learn a little bit more about this, I encourage you to check out this website, howcoachescreatewealth.com. Really simple. It's howcoachescreatewealth.com. And when you go there, click on the link so that you can watch the video from our founder, Derek Sweet. It's going to blow your mind. And I encourage you to get involved with this community of people who care about you, they care about your success, and they're going to help support you as you move forward in your life holistically and authentically. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Remember those 4 keys for healthy relationships: be secure, be appreciative, be affectionate, and be quiet. Give people the gift of listening. Thank you so much.